used the California law as background for her dismissal.
Blake. Lively is losing it in court, and we're not talking about subtle eye rolls or under-the-breath comments. No, Blake is reportedly in full meltdown mode after a judge completely shut down her latest desperate legal move. Think red-faced
risk, and so it's not a fair fight. They're going into this with uneven risks on either side.
Over in public view, it's a huge risk, and so it's not a fair fight. They're going into this with uneven risks on either side. She tried to slither out of the mess by suddenly pulling out the California Me to Law card. Yes, the same one designed to protect real victims, not celebrities playing legal games in designer heels. Blake is using the law like a bulletproof vest to dodge the very defamation case that she sparked with her own accusations. Just
looking at his 7-year-old and being like, well, if you're not going to have what it takes to read this line, which happens to be about, you know, Wolverine's penis, then I'll just go find another actor. Total sicko, the exact opposite in my view.
Borderline disgusting line for Deadpool and Wolverine. Yes, he weaponized his child for a punchline. He's basically looking at his 7-year-old and being like, well, if you're not going to have what it takes to read this line, which happens to be about, you know,
expectedly filed to be dismissed from the lawsuit against her. Her argument that she is presenting is that the lawsuit in and of itself is illegal, okay, because the matter at hand is pertaining to sexual harassment.
We're in the middle of a warped full throat circus featuring allegations, wild defamation countersuits, and a justice system scratching its head trying to figure out how to apply a fresh law, while Hollywood royalty cries victim, with their stylists just a speed dial away, has expectedly filed to be dismissed from the lawsuit against her. Her argument that she is presenting is that the lawsuit in and of itself is illegal, okay, because the matter at hand is pertaining to sexual harassment. Everything hit the fan after California's new Met 2 law known as Code of Civil Procedure Section 47B1 went live on January 1, 2020. This was supposed to be a tool for justice. Instead, it's turning into a shield for the rich and powerful. This Me to Law out here in California. Code of Civil Procedure 47.1 is a problem for the Baldoni camp. How big of a problem is it, this law? It's basically a gold-plated pass to hurl accusations without facing the consequences. It allows people to publicly say whatever they want, and
relative to the lawsuit against Lively for defamation is a little problematic. So we have not seen the opposition yet that the Wayfair parties are going to make to the motion to dismiss filed by Lively, but I suspect that they're going to want New York over California law. We'll see what they do.
But is it valid though if the judge says yes, you can use California law in this instance? Could they dismiss his case because of that?
Countersuit her weapon of choice, and they want us to believe that Justin Baldoni is the creep in all of this. This is running parallel to him shouting at Justin Baldoni in a penthouse about his wife being uncomfortable, and it works. Because now Baldoni doesn't just have to prove Blake lied, he has to prove she lied with malicious intent, as in she knowingly spread falsehoods to destroy him. Good luck proving that when gaslighting has legal protection now. Law relative to the lawsuit against Lively for defamation is a little problematic. So we have not seen the opposition yet that the Wayfair parties are going to make to the motion to dismiss filed by Lively, but I suspect that they're going to want New York over California law. We'll see what they do, but is it valid? Though if the judge says yes, you can use California law in this instant, could they dismiss his case because of that? But here's the kicker: if Baldoni loses, he doesn't just walk away empty-handed. He's on the hook for her legal fees, potentially triple damages and punitive Imagine trying to defend your name and ending up broke, blacklisted and publicly disgraced. That's what's at stake. But here's the real problem for him, and our concern for Baldoni is if he goes forward and he loses his countersuit based on defamation, there's a huge risk to him because he then has to pay Lively's attorney's fees, treble damages, punitive damages. It's a huge, and then Blake's team pulls off the gasol light of the century. They argue that because Blake believed what she was saying, it couldn't have been malicious. That's it. Delusion is now a legal defense. Oops, I thought it was true is apparently enough. To dodge responsibility requires Don to prove a higher burden than he would otherwise have to prove in this defamation lawsuit, so he actually has to show that Blake Lively's anything she said, any communication she made about SH, that they were made in malice, and so that's a higher standard that he has to. But the public, they're not stupid. They see what's happening. This isn't some vulnerable voiceless assist fighting for justice. It's a Hollywood queen pin using laws meant to protect actual victims as a sword and shield. It's a problem that wouldn't be there if they had done this lawsuit a year and a half ago. So this is a brand new law, and what it does is it requires Boney to prove a higher burden than he would otherwise have to prove in this defamation law. And you know who really needs to be dragged through the mud? Ryan Reynolds, the world's favorite Twitter witty heartthrob. Yeah, under that charming mask is.
And that's what he says. So he kind of basically forced his daughter to do the line, or else he's going to replace her as an actress in this movie. She's 7 years old, you guys.
That malice, and it's certainly there's certainly evidence that would lead one to believe a jury could find that Reynolds didn't just cast his 7-year-old daughter in the next Deadpool film. He made her say a grotesque line about male genitalia. Yes, a line that would make most adults cringe, and she didn't want to say it because she's 7. Absolutely no person, I don't care how funny you think you are, in Hollywood would want their precious daughter of all people to make comments about Hugh Jackman's penis being in their father's mouth. And when she hesitated, did cool dad Ryan say, "Sweetie, you don't have to know." He threatened to recast her. That's right, he emotionally blackmailed his own daughter to say something explicit in front of cameras, and he brags about it like it's some kind of wholesome parenting moment. You have to investigate any further because there is no father in his right mind who would want a scene in which his daughter makes a, I guess, homosexual joke about the relationship between him and this Wolverine character, who were starting to have questions about their relationship in real life. And it gets worse. Director Sean Levy admits they made the child do that take not once, not twice, but between 70 and 500 times. I started looking at other people to play. Yeah, but Ryan, to our discredit, we made Neezy do I'm not you 70 to 500 versions of that line. Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to pay for that later. Yet somehow the same man, this dad of the year icon, has the nerve to label
Statement as contained in the allegations is that he went and called Baldoni a predator. I mean, that is just such an over-the-top statement, and it does, just in its own right, seems malicious.